Dude, I grew up on 4chan. Like, you're not gonna say anything that's gonna make me upset. It's not gonna work, right? Like,
wait, what?
I was like, what was it? I was like 15, sitting on freaking Lively. Like, send me whatever you want. It's not gonna do anything.
Send me whatever you want. Come off it, dude. Like, this is, dude, yes. It is pure farming victim points off of this, right?
When I called him out like this, and I was like, yo, this isn't okay, his fan base descended on me like a locust swarm, dude. I was getting
that's not a problem though, right, Thor? You grew up on 4chan, right?
His first tweet of 2019 was, you should link to any game you play. Creators need all the help you can.
Guys! Oh my god, guys. Toby Fox is agreeing with me. That guy you like. Dude, it's so transparent what he's doing here, man. I just want to play you a little clip of Pirate Software. Because I think that this really shows what a wretched little beast this fucker is, okay? Because this guy has always bangs on constantly about what a wretched, pathetic little victim that he is, okay? He's always going on about death threats that he gets, harassment, all this other shit that he's receiving. Oh, it's so bad and terrible, and you sent your audience after me. He was saying to Moist Critic on his DMs the other day. There was just... It's endless with this guy. Endlessly banging on and talking about, right, how much of a victim he is and how oppressed he is by all these people that are coming to him, sending him death threats and all the other fucking shit as well. Okay? Now, Agent N, Nigandros, sent me this clip in my Discord, which I think is extremely eye-opening and just shows what a principleless little freak this guy is, and what a braggart he is, and what a fucking loser he is. Oh, KF. Okay, Kiwi Farms found the clip. Nigandros was just a conduit of information in this case, okay? Yeah, he wants to act like he's the single most harassed man on the internet, right? And my basic take on it is that, yes, obviously, going to someone's DMs, I think I generally would constitute some form of harassment. You shouldn't send death threats. I've got all the right takes about it. Okay, it's bad. Don't do it. But you cannot say that, like, public criticism that you're receiving, particularly when it's arguably justified, is like harassment. Like, if you're a total shithead, like, you're going to get out what you're going to get back what you put out there. Obviously, sometimes people are lovely and pleasant and nice, even if you think they're misguided. They're perfectly pleasant and nice. For example, this guy here, Ross. Perfectly pleasant guy. Even if you disagree with him, fine. But obviously, you know, Pirate Software totally went to town on this guy. And so the idea that he's complaining to Moist Critical about sending the audience after him when he was being so brutally harsh about this guy is totally deranged nonsense, okay? But beyond that as well, right? Obviously, Pirate Software, since he has been getting more negative attention, okay, he has been banging this victim drum. He has been banging this victim drum about what a victim he is, how he's harassed, how he's put upon, and all this other shit, okay? So with that in mind, I just want you to have a little listen to this clip from a stream on the 24th of November, 2023. So this is when he was getting a lot more positive attention and praise. Okay? Listen to what he said here. This is very telling, I think. Have a little listen.
There's multiple ways about crypto. Can't do it. Illegal here. If I were to pay our translator in crypto, I would be in violation of the sanctions. I do not violate federal law. Not really in the business of going to federal prison, right? You've had death threats? Oh yeah, dude. Dude, within seconds of this shit going viral, I had people in my DMs telling me that I should die, right? Like, just constant. Like, that, and people like that being like, you're a dirty Putin supporter. People calling me a Nazi. People saying I should die. Like, all kinds of shit. And like, nah, I don't give a shit. Dude, I grew up on 4chan. Like, you're not going to say anything that's going to make me upset. It's not going to work, right? Like,
wait, what? What was that? What was that for? Hang on a minute. Hang on a second. What was that you just said? Hang on a second.
Calling me a Nazi. People saying I should die. Like, all kinds of shit. And like, nah, I don't give a shit. Dude, I grew up on 4chan. Like, you're not going to say anything that's going to make me upset. It's not.
Wow. So back here, he's the Giga Chad, thick-skinned, I can take it, guys. I don't care about this sort of thing. Just do your worst. Nothing's going to upset me, okay? Right? Now, here's what it is. Here's what it is, right? Back here, he was receiving a lot more positive support and attention. So, I think that he's bullshitting here, right? And I think he is a little thin-skinned, sensitive little freak, as has been shown with recent scenarios. But back here, when he wasn't getting any sort of heat and he was only getting positive attention, he was giving it the old, yeah, man, I'm so hard. I'm so hard I can take it, you know?
Dave became a member. Dave celebrates 5 months of membership. If somebody says I grew up on 4chan, they for sure found out about 4chan on Reddit.
Yes, very true. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Dave, for the membership. Yeah, moments later, I'm getting death threats, guys. I'm crying. But it's just so obvious that he's being like a total braggart here. And he wants to sit there and act like the big man that he can take it. But he can't take it. He's just saying that because that's what's selling well to the audience at the time. But the moment that he can start implementing a victim narrative that he feels is going to benefit him, it switches. And all of a sudden, these death threats, which apparently are no skin off his nose because he grew up on 4chan, all of a sudden become these tremendously awful forms of harassment that, you know, he can't hack and he can't deal with. So, just very telling. Let's listen further, just to make sure we're not taking him out of context, okay? Let's
You're a
listen
dirty
further.
Putin supporter. People calling me a Nazi. People saying I should die. Like, all kinds of shit. And like, nah, I don't give a shit. Dude, I grew up on 4chan. Like, you're not going to say anything that's going to make me upset. It's not going to work, right? Like, are you kidding me? That's just not going to do anything. Like, I literally grew up on something awful forums in 4chan. Like, good luck, right? Good luck, right? I was like, what was it? I was like 15 sitting on freaking Live Leak. Like, send me whatever you want. It's not going to do anything.
Oh, wait! Sorry, PirateSoftware. What was that you just said? What was that? I don't think I heard you correctly. Let's listen again.
Like, good luck, right? Good luck, right? I was like, what was it? I was like 15 sitting on freaking Live Leak. Like, send me whatever you want. It's not going to do anything. Enjoy.
Send me whatever you want. It's not going to do anything. He's literally asking for it. He is literally asking for it, dude. Also, yeah, sure. Being on Live League at 15, I mean... I don't even know if that's true. I feel like he's just saying that.
Okay, that's wonderful.
You know.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Biggest crash out since 2001.
Thank you for the super chats. I was a mega edgelord back in my day.
Okay,
I am
that's
untouchable.
wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Thank you for the super chats, guys. Bro, watch the Bud Dwyer video, made it his personality. Guys, I shouldn't speak of that video because I got in big trouble for that with YouTube last time it came up. Got a little warning from YouTube from a, you know, let's not go there. Let's just leave that. Let's let sleeping dogs lie, okay? But no, obviously he is being a total braggart here. Obviously a disgusting, sensitive little freak, but acting like the big man here.
People?
Thank you for the super chats. Guys, I can take it. Do your worst. Do your worst. Internet does their worst. No, I'm getting harassed. Please stop. Dude. So fucking pathetic, dude.
Right? Good luck, right? I was like, what was it? I was like 15 sitting on freaking Live Leak. Like, send me whatever you want. It's not going to do anything. Enjoy. Enjoy. I was born in this shit. No way, dude. Yeah, even my Steam comments have those. Oh, are they doing it on my Steam account now? It's great.
Money off depressed people.
Wow.
Wise saying
Wow.
I grew up on 4chan flex. I grew up with family and friends.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
People that say they're from 4chan are usually just from Tumblr or Reddit. The true 4chaner would just call you a slur.
Thank you for the super chats. Thank you. Dude, he's doing a Bane, isn't he? I was born in the shadows. Dude, he's such a fucking loser, dude. You cannot speak like this when the going gets tough and you start to get, you know, a lot of fucking hate, correctly I would say. Public hate, I mean. DM's bad. Don't DM people, guys. Don't be naughty. I disavow. And then you just crumble. And it's like so transparent that this is not true. He is bothered by stuff. And also he's happy to Oh, sorry about that. Excuse me. I think it's hay fever. I'm not sure if I've got hay fever or not. But anyway, he's happy to weaponize this when it suits him. So when he feels like it's more straightforward, you know, when he feels like it's more beneficial to play the big man who isn't fazed by this, he does that. But then when it's, oh, I can use this for victim points in order to make it seem like I'm actually the wrong and aggrieved party here, he'll do that. Do your worst, he says, with tears in his eyes. Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah, they've been leaving negative reviews on Heartbound, too. That was the other one. I actually reported those to Steam. I reported those to Steam because they're actually against Steam's EULA. You're not supposed to do that. It's against TOS. But they were leaving negative reviews on Heartbound, saying that I was like a Nazi and all kinds of stuff. It's outrageous, actually. So I have reported every single one of those. I'm going to continue to do that. It's not okay. That has nothing to do with the content of the game. Actually ridiculous, frankly. Yeah, super ridiculous.
Also, we know that that's bullshit as well, don't we? Because he also deletes reviews that are relevant to the content of the game, but he just feels like they're too insulting or something.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
How do you have hay fever when you don't work?
Thank you for the super chats.
Super, super ridiculous.
Well, I go outside sometimes.
Yeah, this one says, if the developer believes that giving the game to the children of those who are bombing Ukraine...
off depressed people?
I like to call my Puerto Rican GF the no word in bed. It's not racist because she's not one.
Okay, cool boy. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, what is this? Live Leak was launched in 2006. If he literally started watching Live Leak as soon as it was made, he would have been 19 or 20. He was born in 1987. I see. So he's even being dishonest about the age he was watching Live Leak, potentially as well.
...in cities is a good idea. Then perhaps he should consider distributing an additional free copy of the game to Israelis. What? 0.1 hours on record, not recommended. Like, this is the kind of shit that you're getting. And it doesn't make any sense. It's people using this for a political stance when there's a humanitarian thing here. And that's it. It's not a political stance. It is, I'm going to support our players no matter where they live, and you're not going to convince me that hate is the right option. Ever. Ever at all. Whatsoever. It's not going to happen. And that goes for any of our players in any region of the world. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't care about...
Yeah, to be honest, that just sounds like someone played the game and rightly concluded that this is an unfinished, shitty mess, basically.
The opinion that I should be hateful to any group of people in any part of the world under any circumstances. Because if you live that way, you reap what you sow. And that's it. Don't be a piece of shit to people. Doesn't matter where they live or who they are. Don't. It's not worth it. And if you go out there and be a piece of shit to people on my behalf, I'll ban you just the same. Don't care. Let's turn these alerts back on.
Especially at that price point.
Okay. So anyway, this was his comments on death threats. Didn't seem to faze him, apparently. Anyway, I've just been informed that apparently there's another clip from what, 2 days later? Is this right? Wait, what is this?
It was a nightmare.
What was a nightmare?
You never link to our game and you got our studio name wrong as well. They call this Pirate Games. And if we look at this, it's hashtag Heartbound Undertale Deltarune GT Live. The next Undertale game is here. Heartbound game release. It was not. It was our early access. No links to Heartbound.
Okay, wait a second. What is he moaning about here? Bro, this is the thing about this guy. I think, and I might do this because obviously I'm inclined to milk this as much as I possibly can. I'm sure that there are a bunch of like little dramas that didn't really get noticed or kind of passed by without much concern. But I reckon there are absolutely tons of little things like this where because he was well liked, he wasn't like,
that's wonderful.
correctly scrutinized for
But how do I make
stuff.
money off depressed people?
A second PirateSoftware clip has hit the drama.
Because I don't even know
that's
about
wonderful.
the MatPat drama.
But how do I make money?
Thank you, Pyro, for the
off depressed
$5.
Can you stop bullying my hero pirate? You don't understand any potential legislation can be circumnavigated with EULAs and proprietary licenses. And not to mention offshore servers that aren't beholden to Hello Kitty Island players in the EU. You're dumb.
Thank you, Chud's mum, for the 420. Interesting to see you take interest in this sort of thing, but thank you anyway.
Basically, they played it on Game Theory, and then
PirateSoftware's code gore makes me want
hang
to
on,
rip
hang
my
on, hang
fucking
on.
eyes out. What the fuck is he doing, bro?
Yes, yes, okay. There's any code heads in chat. You're getting a little snippet of anger too, because I don't know anything about coding. But we obviously went over the coding stuff the other day. Not that I know about it. I had to rely on some Redditor explaining it. But yeah, apparently it fucking sucks.
Basically, they played it on Game Theory, and then if I pull this up, I made a tweet because I was upset about it. The community was upset. So, hey, MatPat, I'm pretty disappointed here, and so is our community. Your GT Live came across it as Undertale clickbait mashup instead of being about Heartbound. You never linked to our game, and you got our studio name wrong as well. They call this Pirate Games. And if we look at this, it's hashtag Heartbound Undertale Deltarune GT Live. The next Undertale game is here. Heartbound game release. It was not. It was our early access. No links to Heartbound. Links to other Undertale videos were all through the description. Heartbound Undertale Deltarune.
Dude, okay. I'm a bit like, I feel like this is like I'm trying, dude. I don't want to just rail on PirateSoftware unreasonably or unfairly, okay? But to me, it's like, yeah, it would have been nice of them to do it, but making like a big public stink about it is crazy. When I would have thought he maybe could have just messaged them about it, no, or something. I don't know. What's the context of him bringing this up? Because if it's like something that, dude, I don't know. I just feel like it's the kind of thing where he probably could have got this sorted another way. I just think like they would. I don't want to sit here and go, oh yeah, the MatPat are totally in the right, and they shouldn't have done. Like, yeah, they probably should have credited him and made a link to the game or something. Okay, I think that's fairly reasonable. What was this tweet that he... Sorry, I'm just trying to figure this out.
Wrong. I came across it as Undertale.
Hey, MatPat, I'm pretty disappointed here, and so is our community.
That's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Apostle became a member. Apostle celebrates 4 months of membership. MatPat argued that linking Pirates videos in the description would have hurt his SEO.
Wait, really? Wait, is that serious? Bro, that's fucked though, if that's true. Thank you for the membership. Sorry, nice game you got there, but I got to think about my SEO. Get fucked, PirateSoftware. No, I don't agree. No, come on. I think, okay, the reasonable position on this is that he should have linked the game in the description. That's the correct view, I think. That's a reasonable view. Because at the end of the day, that's like just a fairly like, hey, here's the game, right? But I don't think it's like a necessity. It's not a necessity. It's not that you have to do it. It's just a nice to do. It's like a courtesy thing, I guess, right? But it's not like the end of the world. I think it just the way PirateSoftware is handling it, it comes across a bit like, you know.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money?
I don't want to say entitled. That's too much.
Segfault became a member. Segfault celebrates 6 months of membership. Just admit it. It's a MatPat W. Wow.
But I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't think I agree with just not fucking... Like, for example, getting the game studio name right is yeah, you should have got the game name studio right. Okay? Linking to it, maybe you could argue, you know, if it does genuinely hurt the video, fair enough, you don't want to link to the game. I can see an argument for that side of it. It's probably a nice thing to do, though. Right? I just feel like PirateSoftware's way of handling it comes across as super entitled. I'll get to the Diddy stuff later. Okay, I've not been following it super closely, so I'm not as invested as you are, unfortunately. But I will look at the Diddy stuff when there's like a news report about it, okay? I just think he probably could have handled this better. And he probably handled it in a very abrasive, obnoxious way. And someone like MatPat, I just don't think it's necessary because he probably is a reasonable guy. Like, he's probably a reasonable guy that you could work with, I would say. Anyway, nonetheless, let's listen on because it's actually not the reason we're watching. There's another reason that comes up in a sec. There's something he says.
Clickbait mashup instead of being about Heartbound. You never link to our game and you got our studio name wrong as well. They call this Pirate Games. And if we look at this, it's hashtag Heartbound, Undertale, Deltarune, GT Live. The next Undertale game is here. Heartbound game release. It was not. It was our early access. No links to Heartbound. Links to other Undertale videos were all through the description. Heartbound, Undertale, Deltarune.
Hang on, wait a second though. It does reference the name of the game, Heartbound. So people can look it up if they want to. Wait. So someone can go, oh, this game looks cool. What's it called? Oh, it's called Heartbound. Okay, let me look it up.
But how do
People
I
can
make
find
money
it. It's not like it's
off the
impossible to
A
find
lot
the
of
game,
videos don't
right?
link to games. Nothing stopped Pirate from reaching out in private to resolve this instead. The game theorists are cool people.
Also, hang on a sec. There's another perspective to this too. Okay? Linking to a game is something that you would be obligated to do if you took a sponsorship from the company. So, I think naming the game is adequate because it puts people in the right direction. But if you want them to definitively link it, then you should probably
but
like,
how do I make money off
I don't know,
those people?
think about a
If I
sponsorship
recall
or something. I don't
correctly,
know.
I recently saw that MatPat is getting into politics. There's a video of him speaking in DC at a podium in front of a crowd.
I did see that. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Guys, if you want the Diddy stuff, you have to go watch it somewhere else because I'm not covering it live. I'll get to it when I'm ready to get to it. I think your earlier take was a bit optics cucked, to be honest, Chudders. Which take? Which take do you mean? I'm just trying to be fair. I don't just want to be like, yeah, PirateSoftware is wrong at every single turn, no matter what. I want to try and be like, okay, well, let's just think about this for a sec. But it's fair to link the game. Yeah, sure, I can agree with that. I don't think you need to link to the game. I think the fact it's named is adequate. It's clear what the game is. It's discourteous to not get the name of your development studio right, okay?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
MatPat took an L from this at the time. Toby Fox called him out publicly for misrepresenting the game as having anything to do Undertale/Deltarune.
Thank you for the $5. Also, with that in mind, what do we think this is? Do we think that MatPat is like some sort of like terrible person who is like trying to fuck over PirateSoftware? Or is MatPat just being a bit of an algorithm goblin? Like, to me, it seems like MatPat is just like, oh, need to optimize this for the algo. Hashtag fucking Undertale, right? He's being an algo goblin, okay? And I don't like hate him for that. I'm like, I kind of get it. You've been discourteous at this. But I don't think you're being like a terrible person. It's just like, you've let your focus on the algorithm get the better of you. And, you know, thought more about that than, maybe I should at least get the name of the game studio right or something like that, you know? But linking the game isn't necessary considering it's named. So getting the name of the game studio wrong is discourteous. And I think PirateSoftware is, you know, handling this like an obnoxious autist, to be honest. That's my rough take on it. Okay? But I don't like this. I do get the hashtag kind of Undertale stuff because it is like similar to Undertale. So obviously you're going to want to try and tap into that, right? Anyway, to me, this is, yeah, I think Shinji's right. He's making it public and he's talking about it like this because he wants to farm fucking victim Andy points off of this, okay? MatPat dug into Heartbound's code as if animatronic was mentioned anyway, so we could tag Five Nights at Freddy's in the video. That's fucking wild. Wild memes.
Undertale 2 full game Toby Fox Baron. No one knew who we were. No one knew who we were. So it completely misled his audience as to who we were. People thought it was Toby Fox. it was a nightmare.
Oh, come on, dude. Come off it, dude. Like, this is... Dude, yes. It is pure farming victim points off of this, right? This is a... Oh, it's kind of a shame they got the game studio wrong. Oh, it's a shame they didn't link to us or something. And that's it. That's the end of it, okay? At the end of the day, you could take issue with this, but the name of your game is in there, and if people want to find it, they can find it. They can find it. Okay? It's not that fucking deep. The fact he's making such a big meal of it is crazy.
When I called him out like this, and I was like, yo, this isn't okay, his fan base descended on me like a locust swarm, dude. Because there's millions of them, and like nobody knew who I was, so I was getting...
Oh, that's not a problem though, right, Thor? You grew up on 4chan, right? You grew up on 4chan. You were basically telling people to do their worst a few days ago, so that's not going to be a problem for a big, brave internet warrior like you, right, mates?
Because there's millions of them, and like nobody knew who I was, so I was getting death threats, pictures of my house from Google Maps, all kinds of shit, dude. Like, it was a freaking nightmare. And that's not his fault. When you have a massive community, people can act like dipshits, right?
Hang on a sec.
Right. You've had death threats? Oh, yeah, dude. Dude, within seconds of this shit going viral, I had people in my DMs telling me that I should die, right? Like, just constant. Like, that, and people like that being like, you're a dirty Putin supporter. People calling me a Nazi. People saying I should die. Like, all kinds of shit. And like, nah, I don't give a shit. Dude, I grew up on 4chan. Like, you're not going to say anything that's going to make me upset. It's not going to work. Right?
Oh,
like,
okay.
That's just not going to do anything. Like, I literally grew up on something awful forums in 4chan. Like, good luck, right? Good luck, right? I was like, what was it? I was like 15 sitting on freaking Live Leak. Like, send me whatever you want. It's not going to do anything. Enjoy. I was born in this shit.
Send me what you want. It's not going to do anything. Enjoy. I was born in this shit.
When I called him out like this, and I was like, yo, this isn't okay, his fan base descended on me like a locust swarm, dude. Because there's millions of them, and like nobody knew who I was, so I was getting death threats, pictures of my house from Google Maps, all kinds of shit, dude. Like, it was a freaking nightmare. And that's not his fault. When you have a massive community, people can act like dipshits, right? And that's basically what had happened there. But his response is why I don't want him touching our stuff. His response was...
Wow. Incredible. And you may be thinking, oh, he's just changed his mind. What's the problem here? Well, for those observant viewers that were listening earlier, okay, this stream is from the 26th of November, 2023. And this stream is from the 24th of November, 2023. Wow! Almost like he's got no actual views or principles on anything, and he will just say whatever is convenient at the time in order to best benefit whatever narrative he's trying to spin. So here, he gets to be the big hard man. Yeah, I can take it. No matter what the internet throws at me, fuck it, I'll be fine. I always grew up on 4chan. To now, when he's in this fucking beef, which apparently is from a few years ago as well. I think it's happened in 2019. When he's in this bit, when he's in now, he wants to farm this. 2 days later, he wants to farm this to try and promote the narrative that he's some fucking victim. So it completely turns on its head. And now all of a sudden, these same death threats that he's getting are apparently some tremendous harm that he's struggling to deal with. Pathetic. Totally pathetic wretch, this guy.
Firstly, he's like, I don't review the thumbnail tags, the description. Doesn't matter. It's your content. So he blamed his employees, which I don't think is appropriate.
Wait, what? Oh my God, I'm telling you, dude. Okay, I am saying, okay, I'm going to be honest, guys. Obviously, it's in my interest to farm PirateSoftware as much as I possibly can, okay? So don't think that I'm like, you know, I want to make lots of money off of shitting on this guy, to be absolutely clear, okay? But beyond that, absolutely, there's going to be these things where he's completely lied his way through previous dramas, right? And he's going to have gotten away with it because of his reputation at the time, because he was beloved by so many people. Look at how dishonestly he presents this. Listen to this again.
I don't want him touching our stuff. His response was, firstly, he's like, I don't review the thumbnail tags, the description. Doesn't matter. It's your content. So he blamed his employees, which I don't think is appropriate.
He blamed his employees, which I don't think is appropriate. Read the full tweet and look at what it says. First, I don't review the thumbnail, tags, descriptions, etc. prior to live streams going up anymore. That's handled by 2 members of our team. However, I train them so their decisions are on me. He's not putting it on his team. He's saying that I didn't personally, physically, virtually, whatever, do that myself. These fingers did not type those tags. People on my team did it. But it's still my channel, aka I trained them, so I take responsibility. He's literally misrepresenting what MatPat is saying on the screen. He's lying about what he's saying right in front of his audience, dude. Yes, note the transition from Giga Chad to Wounded Animal always occurs when he's out of lines of argumentation in his defense. It's so transparent deflection, yes. It's almost like every YouTuber puts on others, but is forced to say, puts tasks on others, but is forced to say, but it's my responsibility, like a gay robot, because it's what they're expected to say. Very gay. Are you talking about me, DK? Is that a reference to me by any chance? But you've got to. You've got to, because otherwise it looks like you're passing the buck. You've got to take responsibility. Even if it makes you look like a gay robot, okay? I think you make the distinction, but you make the distinction because it's like, people need to understand that you're not necessarily, your fingers are not necessarily, you know, typing the thing. They're not necessarily typing the thing out. So it's important to say, well, this person has done it, but it's still, you know, overall your responsibility because it's your channel. And I think, you know, he's done that perfectly here. It's totally reasonable to say this. Like, what is wrong with what he said here? Literally nothing. But obviously PirateSoftware is making it a problem by lying about what he's saying here. How is it fucking putting on his staff to go, well, they actually did the work, but it's my responsibility anyway? That's not putting, that's taking responsibility for it still.
Tags the description. Doesn't matter, it's your content. So he blamed...
Doesn't matter, it's your content. Hence, however, I train them, so the decisions are on me. This is unbelievable, dude. He's lying about what MatPat is saying to his audience's face with MatPat's words on the screen.
Okay,
this is fucking disgraceful, dude.
Off depressed people.
PirateSoftware crashed into internet equivalent Shanksville.
That is fucking deranged, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I'd appreciate it.
His employees, which I don't think is appropriate. And then after that, he kept saying he understands better how to sell our games than we do, basically. He's like, what you think is disrespectful, we actually think is really important. By tying it to that, it gives context to players. It's like, no, you misled them. They think that I'm Toby Fox now because of what you've done. This is not okay. I'm the creator of this.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Who thinks that he's Toby Fox?
Off depressed people.
MatPat is a far better person than PirateSoftware is. I hope PirateSoftware gets the torch for disrespecting MatPat.
Thank you, Pyro, for the 333. Appreciate it. This is fucking a nonsense. This is totally obscene. Totally dishonest. I'm sure you can't rule out that some people might have thought that, obviously, because people are idiots on the internet. But I don't think that people are en masse thinking that he is fucking the other guy. So what is Matt actually saying here? Let's have a look. That said, their goal is to make live streams as searchable as possible. And for games with limited searchability, that's as important as it gets. That's important as it gets them the audience and attention they deserve. It's the same rationale behind our Deltarune videos being branded as Undertale 2. Okay. See, the thing is, considering the name of the game is clearly mentioned, okay, some people were messaging Toby as if he was developing Heartbound. Okay. How many? How many? I mean, the thing is, I've said I'm not ruling it out. Is it like a significant number?
Off depressed people.
This guy self-destructing is so delicious, bro. I'm enjoying the taste of his salty tears. This guy is becoming irrelevant so fast.
Thank you for the $5. Thank you. So the thing is obviously, PirateSoftware obviously gets to have a say in how his game himself is branded and stuff, and maybe he doesn't want certain branding or whatever, fine. But I think I understand what MatPat is saying here, and I think a video that has got maximum searchability, that has got the name of your game in there, there is still some benefit there, and the way that Pirate Software is treating it, like he's been harmed in some way by this, and I don't think he has been harmed. I don't think anything tremendously bad has happened here. I think that Pirate Software has got some gripes that he's completely legitimate to raise, but he's massively overstating it and acting like there's some terrible harm that's occurred. Especially with his victim Andy shit about these death threats, which I very much doubt that he's receiving significant death threats and pictures of his house from Matt Pat's community. I mean, what the fuck, dude? It sounds ridiculous, right? But he has got what is likely a prominent video with his name front and center.
Wonderful. But how do I make
yes, it was bad to get the
name
studio name wrong.
The funniest part is Stop Killing Games is thriving now that we are using the corpse of Pirate's career as nutrients.
Yes. Exactly. Thank you, Silent but Dudley. Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate it. But I think this is only upside. This is literally only upside for Pirate Software. And he's acting like he's been fucking molested. You know? He's acting like he's as molested as one of his fucking ferrets is. And it's just like, no. I think that you have some gripes. You've massively stated it. And now you're just slating MatPat for responding, I think, fairly reasonably here, and defending himself against like what a pretty extreme fucking aggressive attacks like aren't necessary. Do you know what I mean? Your game is great, and by relating it to something similar to that our audience already knows and enjoys, we're hoping to introduce them to it when they might not have checked it out if left with zero context. That's the rationale. I hope it makes sense. Okay. I mean, I just, like, what is the big issue here? This is like a few gripes because they've not got your name game development studio correctly. But if you search Heartbound Game off of watching the MatPat video, you're going to find the game. Heartbound Game is going to bring up that game, is it not? Am I fucking insane here? Like, people will still find your game if they like the look of it, no? It's not like they're going to be like, oh, I really like that game. There's no link, though. That's a shame. Guess I'm never buying it. They're still going to find it if they want to find it. Yes, there's obviously some people who got mistaken and thought that you were Toby Fox or something. Sure. And maybe there's tweaks that could have been made to try and make that not happen. Sure. But it's not this big a deal. It's just not as big a deal as Pirate Software is making it out to be. And he's just totally he's already misrepresented one clear thing that MatPat has said on the screen earlier.
You should respect that, right? So this whole thing went on and on and on until eventually Toby Fox said stop, basically. And his first tweet of 2019 was, you should link to any game you play. Creators need all...
Oh my god, now he's using Toby Fox to his advantage here as well. Right.
Right? So this whole thing...
Regarding links, we don't tend to link back to the games we're playing. That's not an intentional slight on you. It's just rarely something we do for games that aren't fan-made or free. We'll talk about having a more standard policy around that. No, this is an old video that we just happened upon. So this has nothing to do with the recent stuff. Well, it is a bit, because he's showing inconsistent positions on his thoughts about death threats. And the thing is, here's the problem too. Here's the issue too. If you've got a commercial product, right, and you're selling a game, I don't actually hate MatPat's policy here. I'm not like I understand where he's coming from. Even if you disagree with it, you can surely understand where MatPat is coming from here. We don't want to link to a commercial product. Oh, hey, Quintheo, how's it going? I thought Upper Echelon's video absolutely sucked. That's my basic take, and he was wrong about substantive facts of the matter. Lastly, I'm sorry I got your name wrong. Steph had called out the tweet earlier in the stream, but by the end I'd forgotten the second word. My apologies for misspeaking. Hopefully that helps clear some things up. Again, no disrespect was meant. MatPat got so much shit for this. Yes, because Pirate Software had an unreasonable level of like and support because he convinced a bunch of idiots that he was a likable developer guy that was cared about the little guys off the back of his fucking gay YouTube shorts. That is what happened there. That is what happened there. Okay? I'm telling you. there's probably a ton of stuff like this where Pirate Software got an inordinate amount of support, despite the fact he probably was a retard and did things wrong, because he was so fucking well liked back here. You want to phone in, Quintheo? We can talk if you want. Let me just finish this bit and then you can call in if you want. What have we got to argue about though? Don't we agree? Anyway, yeah, what's wrong with MatPat's response here? What's wrong with MatPat's response? What is the issue? This is completely reasonable. God, people are so fucking annoying, dude. Like, there's literally nothing wrong with what... Well, there's stuff you could disagree with, but his reasoning is, like, makes consistent sense. It's not like he's singling this video out and not providing a link. He's saying that I don't want to link to commercial products. Fine. Disagree with that if you want, but he's not doing anything, like, substantively wrong in doing this, I don't think.
Went on and on and on until eventually Toby Fox said stop, basically. And his first tweet of 2019 was, you should link to any game you play. Creators need all the help you can.
Guys! Oh my god, guys. Look, Toby Fox is agreeing with me. That guy you like. Dude, it's so transparent what he's doing here, man. It's so obvious, isn't it? Look, guys, Toby Fox's first tweet was defending me. Aren't death threats bad?
That's wonderful.
Oh
but how do I make money off depressed people?
Thank you, Spuds, for the super chats.
You can get, and think carefully if you're misleading your audience with how you present your videos. You went too far this time. He 180'd there. He 180'd there. He didn't 180 before that. He didn't care what I was saying, the creator of this.
Okay. Why is it not enough to just play the game and talk about it? Why do you have to link to the game? Dude, I played fucking Resident Evil 2 the other day on my gaming stream. Have I got a link to the Steam fucking version of that for you to purchase it? Oh guys, yeah, I really enjoyed Resident Evil 2. If you wanna stuff Capcom's fucking coffers with more cash, here you go, here's a link to the game. No. Okay. I'm being retarded. How am I being retarded? How am I being retarded exactly? I don't think I am being retarded. It's a commercial product. You're selling a game. And the thing is, the name is in there. The name is in there for people to find it. And the thing is, it's his policy. You could disagree with the policy, but Pirate Software is clearly making a massive meal out of this when he doesn't need to. For indie games. Are you saying because of indie games there's a distinction? I just don't think there's like a standard to link the game. The game is mentioned. People can find it if they want to. Is that not adequate? Like what? Yeah, courtesy. Yeah, he was discourteous. Sure, I agree with that. He was discourteous. But Pirate Software is going way overboard. And then what is so egregious about it as well, he's wrapping up this criticism around this concept of like, oh, I got death threats from his community. Isn't that terrible? Obviously, beyond the fact that previously, 2 days prior, he'd said that doesn't faze him. He's obviously trying to like add a bit of extra weight to what he's saying by acting like he's getting unreasonably treated by MatPat's community.
He cared when Toby Fox told him it wasn't okay anymore. And then he changed his mind completely. And like, that showed me that like, I didn't matter as the creator of it. Like what I was the maker of this thing that he was covering, and like, I didn't matter at all. But Toby Fox's word mattered because he was a larger creator. And it showed me like, I don't want him to touch our stuff ever again. Like ever. And
I'm sorry,
okay, that's
dude.
Wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Chud, my name is Bubbles the Ferret and I must to speak out. I was misled, groomed and raped by WoW streamer Pirate Software. Hashtag me too. Hashtag it will never heal.
Thank you for the super chats. So the thing is he had a policy, which, you know, is fine. That's his policy. And he decided to change it anyway. I mean, and he still feels the need years later to bring this up. in a way where he's got to frame himself as the Giga victim as well. I'm sorry for what came across as defensive. Again, I meant no disrespect, but apologies are one thing, actions are another. All games will now be linked to download. We'll revise the way we tag live stream. This is from 2019. Thank you for moving forward on this and updating your policies. It really means a lot to us, and I know it will mean a lot to other developers in the future. I know this situation sucks right now, but I think you're doing the right thing here.
And
oh, gracious.
That's it, right? So, like, this was a long time ago. Don't be a dick about it. It doesn't matter. But it was a moment that I had to deal with, what, 4 years ago? Almost 5 years ago now? So, like, it doesn't really matter anymore. But this is the context for it. You can go read through it yourself and see how you feel about it, right? But it's old shit. It's old shit. And people ask me all the time about him and all this kind of stuff. And it's old shit. But also, like, that sucked. That sucked to deal with, right? It really sucked to deal with. So, but yeah, I hope he doesn't play our stuff, unfortunately. Because I just don't want to deal with that again. I don't want to. Yeah, I was super pissed.
Thor.
It's been 4 years. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah, a long time ago.
It's been 4 years, but I still got to get it in there that I was getting death threats. Guys, I'm over it, but I was getting death threats. Write that down. Matt Pat's community are a fervent hive of people that want to kill me. He's so fucking wretched, dude.